Hello everyone, my name's Clare Owen. I'm the project manager for the perioperative workstream for our new ePR. I'd just like to show you a brief video demonstration of how the perioperative documentation works, and this is the documentation that you would fill in theatre.
This is just an introduction. It's not actually training, so I won't be going into every single section of the perioperative documentation. But you would access the patient record via the perioperative tracking board, as I showed in the perioperative tracking board video. We're going to double click on the perioperative documentation in this blue menu on the left hand side. And the first box that's going to pop up is this check-in box. Now, as we said before, we have to be careful that we don't check the patient in until the patient's in the anaesthetic room, but we are going to go ahead and check this patient in because we are now ready. It's telling me I need to say that the patient's fit for surgery because this is just a test patient. And here we go. So this is the intraoperative documentation on the left-hand side. These are the segments of the documentation, and on the right hand side are the fields or the pages that you have to complete. Now, these grey boxes indicate that this is a required field, so you have to complete this in order to complete the documentation. So this exclamation mark, this red exclamation mark, tells you that within each of these segments there are required fields to complete. When you complete these fields, you'll get a green tick. So if we start with pre-op times, time the patient sent for, this hopefully will have been completed by the staff who sent for the patient from the perioperative tracking board set events section. So you wouldn't have to fill these things in because they would have already been filled in. This bit would be where we start with patient into the anaesthetic room. Now, if I click into that box, it populates it with today's date and time. I'm just going to take it back slightly to make it slightly more realistic. Now, if I click on next, it's going to take me to the next page. And as you can see, I've now got a green tick against pre-op times. That's because I've completed all those required fields. Case times, anaesthetic started. We'll say that was 15:35. Patient enter theatre 15:36. Procedure start time 15:37. And we won't put procedure stop time in just yet. Case staff. So this is where you enter in everybody who took part in that operation. As you can see, it's pulled through. This person is the consultant surgeon, but I'm going to put somebody else in. So I'm going to put a surname in, click on the search button, and that's me. I'll put myself in, and I'm going to say I performed the role of a scrub, and I came in right at the start at 15:35, say. Now, I will put time out when I would be timing out. If I've just come in to relieve somebody for a break or for a shift change or for sickness, I can put a relief reason there. When I've completed that, I'm going to press add, and that takes me up here into this box here. If I click on those three dots there, it tells me who I've got in there. So you do that for all the people that would be attending the case. Then we've got general case data, which tells you the theatre, the ASA grade. You could fill that in. Again, remember, just these ones with the squares are the mandatory fields. And the procedure, I'm just going to pick anything, and I'm going to say it doesn't matter. The primary procedure, click onto the next box. Is there anything else? As you can see down here, it tells me how many pages there are to this section. So as you can see, I've got some more mandatory fields here. So the anaesthesia type, I'm going to say, is a general. The consultant surgeon was present. I'm going to say the consultant surgeon was, hello. Nope, don't want that. I'll put that the consultant surgeon was Mrs. Salomon. There she is. And the operating surgeon. Next one, procedure speciality is general surgery. Some of these will be pre-populated. Where's general surgery? There it is. And it started at, well, whatever time it started, I can't remember. 35, say. The wound class, and then the stop time. I'm going to add that up. Now, it may be that you don't want to complete all of this documentation because it's not relevant. So, for example, with the delays, if there is no delays, I'm going to right-click and I'm going to discontinue that segment. I have to give a reason as to why I'm discontinuing it, and there's a whole list here. I'm just going to put nurse requested, and it greys that out, so I don't have to complete that section because it's not relevant. Equally, there might be things that you need that aren't here. Some of you will have noticed there is no who check-in or sign out or anything like that. There will be when we go live, it's just not quite built yet. But if I wanted to add something here, I can go to the add segment box here, click on that. On the left hand side, this is everything that's been built, and on the right hand side is what we've currently got. So say, for example, I wanted to add in implants because we're now putting an implant. I'll move that across, click OK, and it will, there it is, it's appeared here as implants. With diathermy, for example, it will say, is diathermy used? If it wasn't, just click no. And add the, if you try and move off a box and you haven't actually, in effect, signed it or documented it, it will always say add entry to list box. So it doesn't let you leave without documenting it properly. And as you can see, we've got some green ticks here. Now, I want to show you what the report looks like, so I'm going to just discontinue all the other segments just to speed things up, because I can't go through all of these. You will get trained on all of these, obviously. So the only 3 things that it won't let me do, I need a green tick for, are case times. So I'm going to say the procedure stopped, the anaesthetic stopped, and the patient's left theatre, and they have gone to recovery. And case staff, it should automatically populate the case staff timeout because I've filled that bit in. There's still something outstanding on procedures. I need to find out what that is. Let's go back to page 1. Let's see if I can find what it is it wants me to fill in. That's complete. That's complete. And it's now. So now I've got all green ticks, so I can now finalise my case. So it comes up with, sorry, I just clicked on the green little flag there, and it says document has no deficits. Would you like to finalise the document? If you did have deficits, it'll tell you what they were, so it'll ask you to go back and fix them. I'm going to finalise that document, ignore this error message, and this is what you will get. So this is the report, the document that's created, and it's everything that happened in that case, the time, and you'll notice here it says last modified by, so it tells you who documented that, what date and what time. That is also available in the documentation section here, as you can see there, intraoperative record, and that's available. If I click on that, it comes up in the right hand side, and that's available to anybody else in the trust. So that's an introduction to our intraoperative documentation.
Thank you for watching that demonstration, everyone, and I hope you found it helpful. If you want any further information, you can find that on our ePR SharePoint site available through Ollie, or you can follow us on Twitter.